Mga idol at kabayan, super good news! Oil at gas exploration sa Palawan umuusad na. Hindi China ang magiging kapartner ng Pilipinas, kundi isa sa mga kaalyado ng bansa na merong malakas na kakayahan sa militar sa mundo. Matapos ang 8 taon, for the first time, pinayagan ng Department of Energy ang isang kumpanya ng Israel na magsagawa ng 3D seismic survey sa Palawan Basin. Kung kayo ang tatanungin mga kabayan, payag ba kayo na Israel ang magiging kapartner ng Pilipinas? Secretary Blinken dumating na sa bansa sa harap ng mga Pilipino at reporter. Sinabi ng isa sa pinakamataas na opisyal ng Amerika na nakatayo ito para sa Pilipinas. Handa ang Amerika na depensahan ang Pilipinas ayon sa nakasaad sa 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty saan man sa South China Sea o West Philippine Sea.
It's why we stand with the Philippines and stand by our ironclad defense commitments, including under the Mutual Defense Treaty. Article 4 extends to armed attacks on the Filipino Armed Forces, public vessels, aircraft, including those of its Coast Guard, anywhere in the South China Sea.
Department of Energy, inaprubahan na magsasagawa ang isang Israel company ng 3D seismic survey sa East Palawan Basin. Ito na ang simula ng mga sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. na handa ang Pilipinas sa tulong ng mga kaalyado at partners nito na makuha ang mga yamang nakatago sa ilalim ng karagatan at kalupaan ng bansa para sa mga Pilipino. Siguro naman mga kabayan, kampante tayo na Israel ang naging katuwang natin ngayon at hindi China sa paggalugad ng oil at gas malapit sa Palawan. Para alamin ang mga nakatagong langis sa Palawan, isang service contract 76 3D seismic survey ang isasagawa ngayong buwan ng Marso sa karagatan ng Palawan, partikular sa 150 kilometers ng silangan ng Puerto Princesa. Ang anunsyo ay inilabas ng Department of Energy na may pagsang-ayon ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan, partikular na ng Philippine Coast Guard, Department of National Defense, Palawan Council for Sustainable Development at ng lokal na pamahalaan. Ang 3D seismic survey ay magtatagal ng 35 araw kung saan pangungunahan ng Israel company na Ratio Petroleum Limited na magdideploy ng sasakyang pandagat na magsasagawa ng high-tech na pag-survey sa 1,500 square kilometers ng Service Contract Block 76. Ito ang unang 3D seismic survey na pinayagan ng Department of Energy sa nakalipas na 8 taon na ang layunin ay alamin ang oil at gas deposits na magiging malaking tulong sa ekonomiya ng bansang Pilipinas. Gaya ng naunang oil exploration sa malampayan natural gas sa hilaga naman ng Palawan taong 2023, sinabi ng Israel company na Ratio Petroleum Limited sa Department of Energy ang natuklasan itong potential na langis sa mismong service contract sa Palawan. Isang patunay mga kabayan kung bakit may mga dayuhang bansa tulad ng China ang nagkaka-interes dahil sa maraming mga nakatagong yaman sa mga karagatan ng Pilipinas. Good news number 2, dumating na sa bansa ang isa sa pinakamataas na opisyal ng Biden administration. Nasa bansa na si Secretary Blinken para makipagkita at makausap ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, si President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Ito na ang ikalawang pagbisita ni Secretary Blinken sa panahon ng Marcos administration. Mismong si Secretary Blinken ang nagsabi sa mga Pilipino at sa mga reporter na nakatayo ang Amerika sa Pilipinas laban sa mga ilegal at pagiging agresibo ng China sa South China Sea o West Philippine Sea. Sinabi ni Secretary Blinken na kapag nagsanib ang Pilipinas, Japan at Amerika, mas magiging malakas at madali para sa tatlong bansa ang pagpapanatili ng international na batas maging ang malaya at bukas na Indo-Pacific.
The alliance has never been stronger, but we not only have to sustain that, we have to continue to accelerate the momentum. The Philippines is our oldest ally in the Indo-Pacific, more than 70 years working together to promote peace and security in the region. The EDCA expansion is strengthening that further, creating new locations for access to work together on humanitarian assistance, on disaster relief, including, for example, relief after the recent typhoons. And as well as creating greater interoperability, modernizing our military with real and important benefits for local communities. We have a shared concern about the PRC's actions that threaten our common vision for a free, open Indo-Pacific, including in the South China Sea and in the Philippines exclusive economic zone. Repeated violations of international law and the rights of the Philippines, water cannons, blocking maneuvers, close shadowing, other dangerous operations. These waterways are critical to the Philippines, to its security, to its economy, but they're also critical to the interests of the region, the United States, and the world. It's why we stand with the Philippines and stand by our ironclad defense commitments, including under the Mutual Defense Treaty. Article 4 extends to arm attacks on the Filipino Armed Forces, public vessels, aircraft, including those of its Coast Guard, anywhere in the South China Sea. Most important is we stand together in our determination to uphold international law for the Philippines, for everyone else, against any provocative actions.
Ang video na ito ay hatid sa inyo ng 1xBet, isang legit betting site sa mundo. Para mag-register, pumunta lang kayo sa 1xBet website at tingnan ng 1x Games. Under the 1x Games, marami kayong pwedeng pagpipilian. Good news! Dahil tuloy-tuloy ang pagbibigay ng hanggang 7,800 na bonus sa unang nyong deposit gamit ang promo code na inyong nakita sa screen. Pwedeng makita ang promo code at link sa description at comment section ng video na ito para makuha ang inyong bonus. Matapos mag-register, pwede kayong mag-deposit gamit ang iba't ibang payment method. Ganon din sa pag-withdraw ng inyong pera.
As the Foreign Secretary mentioned, we're also deepening our cooperation with partners who share this commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The trilateral with Japan is a very important platform for building even greater stability and deepening peace. Just over the past year, our governments have increased cooperation on a whole host of shared priorities, not only security, but economic cooperation, humanitarian assistance, critical infrastructure. We've had trilateral meetings over the past year to include meetings between myself, Ricky, and our Japanese counterpart, the Vice President, President Marcos, and Prime Minister Kishida, National Security Advisor Sullivan and his counterparts, and this week in Tokyo, Deputy Secretary of State Kurt Campbell will be meeting with his counterparts. All of this leading to the summit meeting between President Biden, President Marcos, Prime Minister Kishida at the White House on April 11th, the first trilateral leader summit with the United States, the Philippines, and Japan. We're constantly expanding this partnership to meet bigger challenges, to seize bigger opportunities, including semiconductors, and you heard the Foreign Secretary reference that. I had a chance today to visit the Amcor facility, which is quite remarkable. But if you look at what the Philippines is doing in this area, it's already extraordinary. The Philippines has about 20% of the global market for assembly, for testing, for packaging. And of course, it's a big part of the Philippines economy, representing about 12% of its GDP. But we want to support Filipino manufacturing, decrease dependencies, strengthen global supply chains. In November, we launched a partnership under the CHIPS and Science Act to explore opportunities to grow and to diversify semiconductor supply chains. During the mission that Secretary Mundo recently conducted very successfully, this presidential trade mission last week, we announced plans to invest an additional $1 billion in the Filipino tech sector and to double the number of semiconductor factories here in the Philippines.
Laban Pinas.